how her husband of 5 years, a man that she'd been with for 18 years, blindsided her with one of the most brutal breakups.
Life doesn't scare me anymore. Life is life. I'm gonna tell you what.
Celebrity marriages might seem bathed in warm, glowing light, but dark, chilling shadows creep in, sometimes overtaking the entire family space. Behind radiant smiles and happy photos lie horrifying secrets only those involved truly understand. It's heartbreaking for the 23 black celebrities we'll meet in this video. These 23 icons, pride of their community, chose husbands and wives who couldn't have been worse. Their relationships were torn apart by infidelity abuse, financial manipulation, and unimaginable emotional shocks. After watching this video, you might find yourself saying, why did these people so deserving of love end up with such awful partners? 23. Wendy Williams, a marriage like a golden trap that drove the talk show queen to hell's depths. Wendy Williams was once an irreplaceable name in American talk shows. She wasn't just a host. She was a fearless voice daring to dig into secrets others only whispered backstage. The Wendy Williams Show was her kingdom. But behind the stage lights, behind her dazzling smile and empire, was a nightmare called marriage. In 1997, Wendy married Kevin Hunter, the man she believed would be her forever partner, someone who understood the treacherous, high-pressure entertainment world. But a few years in, Wendy realized she hadn't married a true husband, but a controller. Kevin didn't manage her subtly. He manipulated her blatantly. Finances, schedules, relationships, staff, even her private life, all were in Kevin's grip. Wendy thought it was support. It was decades-long mental imprisonment. The family tragedy didn't stop there. In 2008, Wendy hit her career peak with the Wendy Williams Show's debut. But while she smiled for the cameras, Kevin quietly built a parallel life. Sharina Hudson was his secret mistress for over a decade, funded by Wendy's earnings. From lavish apartments and luxury cars to spa retreats, all were drawn from Wendy's accounts. Meanwhile, Wendy sank into sleepless nights, alcohol addiction, sleeping pills, and growing isolation. By 2017, the secrets unraveled. Paparazzi repeatedly caught Kevin with Sharina. In 2019, Wendy learned Kevin had a child with her. It was the final blow to her shattered heart. She collapsed completely. Wendy was found in a panicked, unstable state, hospitalized, and sent to rehab. On air, she tried to keep going, but she was a shadow of her past: vacant eyes, disjointed speech, unsteady legs swollen from lymphedema, and severe mental instability. Finally, in 2020, the divorce was finalized. Kevin left, taking not just cash and shares, but Wendy's brightest years. She tried to bounce back, continuing the show, launching a podcast, debuting a fashion line. But behind the scenes, she was propped up, barely standing, unable to control her words. By 2021, Wendy vanished from TV. Rumors swirled she lost control of her assets, was placed under guardianship for lacking legal capacity. She lived in isolation, her memory fading, unsure of where she was or what she was doing. Once a woman who commanded stages and public opinion, Wendy is now a name that evokes pity. That marriage didn't just steal her vibrant youth, it stripped her identity, health, fame, and left a living relic, silent, alone, lost in life. 22. Marvin Gaye, a marriage cage that drove the soul legend to addiction collapse and a bloody death. Marvin Gaye was a soul music monument, a voice that touched listeners' deepest emotions with timeless hits like What's Going On and Let's Get It On. He wasn't just a singer, he was the soul of a Motown generation. Few knew Marvin was trapped for nearly 2 decades in a controlled, betrayed, and destructive marriage with Anna Gordy Gaye, a powerful woman in the empire that elevated him. In 1963, Marvin married Anna, 17 years his senior, and sister to Motown mogul Berry Gordy. The wedding wasn't just a union, but a tacit deal between artist and power broker. From that day, Marvin was no longer free. Anna tightly controlled his life, finances, wardrobe, work, relationships. Marriage ceased to be love, becoming a gilded cage, locking away Marvin's dreams of freedom. Both began affairs when they lost connection. Marvin sought other women to escape Anna. She retaliated with younger, unfamiliar men, sometimes flaunting them before Marvin. Publicly, they were Motown royalty. Privately, it was a loveless, faithless, cold hell of mental warfare. By 1972, financial conflicts arose as Anna spent recklessly plunging Marvin into debt. He spiraled into drugs. Panic attacks, hallucinations, and loss of control became routine. Anna didn't counsel her husband. She exploited his state to drag him to court. In 1977, they divorced. For freedom, Marvin paid nearly all his next album's earnings to Anna. Here, my dear, a dark, furious musical indictment. But it didn't end there. Marvin kept crumbling post-divorce. Drugs, depression, and debt engulfed him. He fled the U.S., living as a paranoid wanderer. In 1984, during an argument with his father, who'd abused him as a child, Marvin was shot dead by him a day before his 45th birthday. Anna didn't attend his funeral. Their marriage, meant to be a launch pad, was a black hole that devoured a genius. 21. Latoya Jackson, A Life in a Hell Called Marriage. Latoya Jackson, often overshadowed by Michael and Janet's glow, carved her own notable career. A successful solo singer with hit albums, the first Jackson to enter Playboy's world, she was a bold, sensual icon. But behind the stage lights was a life few could imagine. A dream marriage twisted into a nightmare where her husband wasn't a partner, but a mental and physical abuser. In 1989, Latoya married Jack Gordon, a polished-looking man with a dark past. No Jacksons were invited. The secretive Las Vegas wedding marked the start of an invisible prison. Jack controlled her like property, changing her phone numbers, banning family contact, isolating her from all ties. He became her manager, spokesperson, decision-maker for her career and life. Latoya lost her voice. Jack didn't stop at control. He forced her to pose nude-sign, degrading performance contracts and publicly make shocking accusations against her family, all part of his sabotage plan. When she resisted, he beat her. He locked her in closets. He brandished guns. He tied her with phone cords. Once he starved her for 3 days in a Milan hotel. The media didn't know. The public thought she was eccentric. But she was a hostage for 8 years. She sang for mercenaries during the Bosnian War, nearly dying because Jack needed cash. She escaped once but was dragged back, beaten, hospitalized. Only in 1997, with Brother Randy's help, did she break free, a literal jailbreak. Post-divorce, Latoya collapsed. PTSD, depression, penniless, shunned by family. But she rose, wrote books, did TV shows, spoke her truth. No longer a victim, she's a survivor, a symbol of rebirth after marital hell. 20. Iyanla Vanzant, a harrowing journey, escaping a marriage with an addict and abuser. From a penniless single mother with no education or support, Iyanla Vanzant climbed from despair's depths to become one of America's most inspiring speakers. With her hit own show, Fix My Life, she helped millions heal while pulling herself from the ashes of a life choked by violence, debt, and excruciating pain. In 1971, at 18, Iyanla entered marriage. Yemi Vanzant, the man she thought would turn her life's page, became a long-term sentence of fear. Months after the wedding, his true face emerged, jobless, addicted to alcohol and drugs, volatile and brutally abusive. She became his living punching bag during baseless, drunken rages. Her body bruised, heart torn, she lost her first pregnancy to his beatings. From 1973 to 1976, every day was a survival battle. She struggled to raise kids while Yemi burned money on gambling and drugs. Some nights her child burned with fever, but no medicine remained. Once he threatened her with a knife for mentioning their crushing debt. Iyanla wanted to leave, but Yemi vowed to kill her and the kids if she did. Worse, her past of abandonment and abuse made her believe she deserved it. Marriage became an invisible cage locked by guilt and fear. In 1979, when Yemi was arrested for disorderly conduct, she fled with her kids. Penniless, uneducated, but iron-willed. Through the 80s, she worked every job, dishwashing, typing to feed her kids and pay debts. At times, near collapse, she wrote to live, breathe, stay sane. That was the legend's start. From tear-soaked pages, she stepped into light. She didn't just overcome, She scaled heights to tell the world I survived. So can you. 19. Star Jones, marrying a gold digger, paying with reputation and dignity. Star Jones is an iconic American TV figure. A lawyer activist and The View co-host, she made the nation pause to hear her. But at her fame's peak, she stumbled because of the man she called husband. In 2004, America watched Star's lavish wedding to Al Reynolds. A gown worth hundreds of thousands, a list guests, exclusive TV coverage. But as the reception ended, a quiet nightmare began. Al had no career, no goals. His clear ambition lived off Star. Luxury cars, designer clothes, parties, all charged to her card. Every dollar from her TV gigs, books, and ad deals vanished into Al's reckless, pleasure-seeking lifestyle. Then rumors hit. Star heard repeated stories from friends, colleagues, her assistant, that Al was seeing others. Not one, but many. Some were shady industry flings, others blatant hookups at parties unfit for married men. Star stayed silent, but her body spoke weight loss, insomnia, panic. She kept smiling on air, but off camera, she was shattering. In 2008, they divorced. Star paid Al a massive settlement, though she'd bankrolled the marriage. He left with cash, a house, and fame boosted by her name. She was left empty-handed, literally and figuratively. But she didn't fall. She wrote. She spoke. She turned shame into a comeback. No longer a victim, Star Jones returned a warrior. No need for lavish weddings or backers. Just her and life's costliest lesson: not everyone who marries you loves you. 18. Vivica A. Fox. From assets to heart, all exploited. Vivica A. Fox, a Hollywood powerhouse, is known for unforgettable roles and a stellar acting career. Her standout performance in Kill Bill cemented her talent and won millions of admirers. But beneath that glow was a painful marriage that cost her career and heart. In 1998, Vivica married Christopher Harvest, a handsome singer with no notable career. They seemed the perfect pair, basking in fame's light. But post-wedding, it unraveled. Vivica believed love could change everything, but her husband saw her as an endless cash machine. Jobless, ambitionless, he squandered her money on luxury goods and pricey trips. It worsened. Christopher didn't just waste money. He was utterly irresponsible. He didn't work, pursue music, or contribute, just spent Vivica's earnings. Monthly, she faced sky-high bills from Rolexes to first-class flights, forcing her to cover them. She tried talking, but got rage and blame for her career. Each day, she felt like a milk cow drained dry. In 2002, after months of struggle and unhealed wounds, they divorced. Christopher demanded alimony despite contributing nothing. Vivica reluctantly paid a hefty sum to end it. Afterward, she returned to a home piled with bills. No money, no husband, no trust in love. But Vivica didn't break. She fought back. In 2003, Kill Bill was her rebirth. She didn't just act, she unleashed her pain and anger from that toxic marriage. Each punch on screen was sweet revenge, not against Christopher, but the trauma she endured. With bold steps, Vivica paid off debts, rebuilt her career, and reclaimed her life. But her heart wasn't the same. She no longer trusted men easily. Vivica A. Fox doesn't live to be anyone's wife. She lives for herself, a strong, independent woman, needing no one to prove her worth. 17. Tina Turner. Escaping love's hell, rising from ashes. Tina Turner, the woman who reshaped music, is a living icon of strength and resilience. Not just a music legend, she's an enduring inspiration for those facing adversity. Few know that behind her stage radiance were years of hell endured in her marriage to Ike Turner. When Tina met Ike in 1962, she thought she'd found a lifelong partner to build a music empire with. But from the start, Ike wasn't the man she imagined. Their marriage wasn't happiness. It was captivity under an abuser. Beyond his addiction and violence, Ike controlled finances absolutely. Tina wasn't just a wife. She was a puppet, a possession he owned. Life with Ike became an endless nightmare. Punches, beatings, dark nights of tears and pain. Tina couldn't keep money or make decisions, and when exhausted, Ike punished her with violence. Most terrifying was the slow destruction of her spirit. At her lowest, Tina turned to sleeping pills for escape. Waking in a hospital, she realized she couldn't die like that. She chose to live, though penniless, with only her music-tied name. She fled in agony. No assets, no home, just Ike's massive debts. But that marital death couldn't defeat her. Tina fought, rebuilt her career, and in 1984, What's Love Got to Do With It wasn't just a hit, it was a survivor's manifesto. Ike sent threats, but Tina feared no more. Each stage step declared she survived, and no one could take her strength. Tina became a legend, living as an immortal icon. Every success, every steady step was sweet revenge for her pain. But mentioning Ike, her eyes turned cold, not from hate, but because no one survives hell without scars. 16. Gary Coleman, A Violent Marriage and a Terrifying End. Gary Coleman, the 80s superstar as Arnold Jackson in Different Strokes, was a symbol of joyful, innocent childhood. But his life wasn't fulfilled. His 2007 marriage to Shannon Price wasn't just a misguided love, but a tragic turning point only those involved felt. When Gary married Shannon, he thought it was a safe haven, a late-life love after years of turmoil. But within a year, Shannon, whom he saw as a partner, became someone else. First came marital tension, then countless violent attacks. Shannon, young and hot-tempered, couldn't control her rage, assaulting Gary during a 2008 argument. Her punch didn't just hurt his body, it shattered his trust. But that wasn't all. When Gary fell downstairs instead of getting help, Shannon left him in pain and danger. Was it ignorance or deliberate? No one knows. But her cold indifference was clear, especially as she neglected his care in his final days. In 2010, after a stroke, Gary Coleman died. His death ended a turbulent life but raised unanswered questions about his relationship with Shannon. The public vilified her, many believing she caused his decline. After his death, Shannon was denied his estate. A fierce legal battle erupted, digging into her past and questioning her role. Ultimately, amid the storm, Shannon lived in solitude, haunted by her past, forever shadowed by suspicion and blame. 15. Whitney Houston, The Painful Secret of a Tormented Marriage with Bobby Brown. Whitney Houston, music icon and angelic voice, gave her life to music, but couldn't find personal happiness. After marrying Bobby Brown in 1992, a stormy marriage began, turning her from a dazzling star into a depleted woman grappling with addiction and irreversible collapse. Whitney's marriage started like a dream, but swiftly became a nightmare. When Bobby entered her life, he wasn't the man she thought. Blindly jealous, he made her life a series of dark days. He didn't just monitor her. He mentally and physically abused her. His rage was uncontrollable. Once drunk, he pushed her while pregnant with their daughter, Bobby Christina, nearly causing a miscarriage. But that was just the start of the destruction. Alongside brutal beatings were endless nights of drugs and alcohol. Whitney and Bobby sank into a dark life of constant highs, leaving behind the music. Queen, now a faded figure with dazed eyes and a voice losing its edge. Her personal life crumbled, lucrative contracts vanished, and Whitney, who once had everything, stood on ruin's brink. Yet nothing could make Whitney leave Bobby despite her family's pleas. She entered rehab multiple times, but days later, paparazzi caught her wandering streets, clutching a torn bag, talking to invisible people. Though everything collapsed, she returned to Bobby like a moth to flame, unable to stop. After years of suffering in 2007, Whitney divorced, but the cost was steep. She lost custody of her daughter, her career was nearly destroyed, and her mind never fully healed. Though she tried to rise with new albums and reclaim her place, the wounds Bobby left were too deep. On February 11, 2012, Whitney was found dead in a bathtub from a drug overdose, an inevitable end. Whitney's death wasn't just music's loss, but the end of a pained life she couldn't escape. Her marriage to Bobby didn't directly kill her, but it left unhealable wounds, a painful lesson for those who believe in love but forget to love themselves first. 14. Mary J. Blige, from perfect marriage to an endless nightmare. Mary J. Blige, Queen of Soul, captivated the world with her emotive voice and timeless hits. But behind that glow, a dark marital tragedy dragged her into a relentless nightmare. Kendu Isaacs, the husband she trusted, became a betrayer, costing her not just love, but everything she'd built. In 2003, when Mary married Kendu, she believed he was the one to bring peace after turbulent years. Kendu wasn't a star, but a quiet supporter in her work. But when love mixed with business and money, things unraveled fast. In the shadows of fame, Mary sensed a change she couldn't see. In 2011, the truth surfaced. Kendu was recklessly spending Mary's money. Yachts, luxury cars, gifts not for her, but for a young singer he was cozy with. When Mary found a $400,000 personal PR expense, it wasn't just money, it was the end of a seemingly solid marriage. In 2016, Mary couldn't take it anymore. She filed for divorce after 13 painful years, but the cost was horrific. Kendu didn't just leave. He demanded $129,000 monthly alimony, claiming he was accustomed to luxury with her. Betrayal's price wasn't just emotional, but a devastating financial blow. In 2018, after the marriage ended, Mary paid Kendu $30,000 monthly while her assets were drained. Losing her home gigs and self-trust, she kept singing, but offstage, she shaved her head as if shedding the past. Yet Mary didn't fall. Instead of weeping, she turned pain into music sung with her broken heart. In an interview, she admitted she thought she'd die for that man. But Mary Rose transformed unapologetic for loving the wrong person. 13. Halle Berry, pain beneath the glamour, 2 marriages and bitter betrayals. Halle Berry, Oscar-winning screen goddess with fiery beauty and a solid career, seemed to have it all. But behind Hollywood's glamour were deep wounds, love tragedies unseen by others. In 1993, Halle married David Justice, a baseball star. To the public, they were perfect. Only Halle knew that behind red carpet smiles, she endured domestic violence from the man she trusted. Beaten, slapped so hard she nearly lost her hearing, she hid in corners praying he'd leave. The wounds weren't just physical, they eroded her spirit daily. She stayed silent, fearing career ruin. In 1997, the marriage ended quietly without public accusations. Halle left in agony, standing on overpasses, wanting to end it all. But survival instinct brought her back. In 2001, Halle trusted love again, marrying Eric Benet, a romantic R&B singer. He understood and pampered her, making her feel like a queen. But months later, strange texts and midnight calls shattered it. Eric admitted to sex addiction, explaining his serial affairs. Halle tried saving the marriage, sending him to rehab, but couldn't stop the storms. Each of his failures broke her more. When Eric demanded part of her assets, the pain deepened. Post-divorce, Halle continued winning an Oscar for Monsters Ball, but her eyes had changed. She hit rock bottom, sought therapy, but even stabilized, the hurt lingered. Later, relationships couldn't escape past shadows. She lost faith in love, unsure how to give her heart. From victim she rose, learning happiness comes not from the right person, but from loving herself after all. 12. Tisha Campbell, a marriage drowned in debt and a traitor's blade. Tisha Campbell, a standout 90s TV star, was a success symbol. Her marriage to actor Dwayne Martin seemed fated. They were a perfect pair publicly, but none saw the undercurrents wrecking her life for over 2 decades. Dwayne didn't just cheat, he toyed with money, ruthlessly scamming finances. In 2016, Tisha learned the brutal truth. Over $15 million vanished into phantom projects while Dwayne lived lavishly, leaving her bankrupt. She paid for her kids' school, took roles to support the family, while Dwayne remained untroubled by her pain. Tisha lost not just wealth, but faith in love and marriage. In 2020, After 24 painful years, Tisha divorced. The custody battle was brutal, with Dwayne smearing her using every trick to drag her down. But Tisha wasn't scared anymore. She stood tall, tearless, having cried enough. Post-divorce, she found light returning in small projects, proving she rose after the quake caused by her beloved. 11. Lisa Wu, a marriage painted with glamour hiding deep invisible cuts. Lisa Wu, model and reality TV star, entered life with Hollywood's fame and light. She married R&B star Keith Sweat in 1992. Their marriage began like a dream, but years later the harsh reality behind the glamour emerged. From arguments to domestic violence, Lisa's life wasn't a dazzling stage, but a battlefield. Early on, Keith revealed a controlling, angry nature and serial infidelity. Though Lisa uncovered his deceit, his fame silenced her from public support. Things escalated in 1999 during a custody battle. Keith won, smearing Lisa, costing her nearly everything. Divorced in 2002, Lisa left empty-handed without custody or assets. The following years were painful, spiraling into depression and loss. But Lisa didn't surrender. She returned via the Real Housewives of Atlanta, sharing her failed marriage's pain-refusing victimhood. Launching a furniture business, writing books, she reclaimed her career and motherhood. She needed no savior, she unlocked her own chains. 10. Omarosa. From a deceptive marriage to a battle between career and honor. Omarosa Manigault, a sharp, ambitious woman, rose in politics and TV. She hoped for a reliable partner, but saw that dream crumble when she married Aaron Stallworth in 2000. Thinking it a solid foundation, she soon realized Aaron wasn't who she thought. An opportunist, he used her fame to borrow money, spend recklessly, and secretly cheat. In 2002, when secrets surfaced, Omarosa faced not just romantic betrayal, but financial ruin. Aaron even mortgaged their home for a failed tech venture, leaving her with massive debt. Though the marriage ended in 2005, Aaron's shadow lingered. Each TV appearance brought leaked texts and photos, fueling criticism and doubt. But Omarosa didn't bow. She chose The Apprentice to revive her career-winning fans as a fierce, unyielding woman. She returned to politics, even working in the White House. Despite controversies, she proved she wasn't easily defeated. Remarrying in 2017, past shadows threatened her image, but Omarosa never knelt, no matter the odds. 9. Tameka Foster, a woman who lost everything for trusting a star. Tameka Foster, a renowned stylist, ambitious and strong, was Usher Raymond's wife. Their relationship faced criticism from the start, and their 2007 marriage made her a target of scorn. Still, she believed in love and a bright future. But in 2008, rumors of Usher's betrayal spread. Their bond became a silent war, not just with each other, but with his family, as Usher's mother skipped the wedding and Tameka was pushed out of her own life. Usher's infidelity was the surface. His lavish lifestyle was the root of collapse. Blamed for spending, Tameka was unaware most money fueled Usher's personal escapades. In 2009, during divorce, a custody war erupted. Usher portrayed a devoted dad while Tameka was vilified as an unfit mom. Losing custody and reputation, she was shunned. But she didn't stay silent. Tameka wrote books, continued her career, and fought for single mothers' rights. Though she didn't win, she didn't fall. That was her true victory. 8. Jesse Jackson Jr. A painful detour for a king. Jesse Jackson Jr., a black politician and son of a famed civil rights leader, was a great hope for American politics. His wife, Sandy Jackson, a sharp lawyer, stood by him, making them a power couple. But behind the glow, cracks had long formed. Their marriage, once a success symbol, turned tragic. Jesse entered Congress, Sandy carved her own power, but in shadows, endless disputes consumed them. Sandy overshadowed Jesse, making him passive in his own life. Illegal spending leaked from pricey Rolexes to lavish vacations. When Jesse knew and stayed silent, their lives plummeted. In 2013, both faced charges for embezzling over $800,000 from campaign funds, leading to prison. Jesse served 30 months, Sandy 12. From a promising politician, Jesse was ruined not just by debt, but by silent betrayal at home. After prison, their marriage collapsed, and in 2018, he divorced. The man who could have changed the world now lives in faded, bitter days. 7. Ensa Cosby, death from wounds that never healed. Ensa Cosby, Bill Cosby's daughter, bore her father's giant shadow but strove for her own life. Marrying Martin Scott in the early 90s, she thought it a bright start. But happiness shattered as the marriage sank under unavoidable family conflicts. In the 90s, Ensa endured not just public pressure from her father's scandals, but her husband's betrayal. Martin didn't just cheat. He withdrew into family life's shadows. Fame's weight and abandonment's pain drove Ensa to despair. After years of failure, she divorced in 2000, but it brought no relief, only painful battles. She fought Martin over custody and assets. Post-divorce, Ensa lived privately, but kidney disease and unhealed emotional wounds trapped her in the past. In 2018, at 44, Ensa died, her spirit likely killed long before by those wounds. 6. Evelyn Lozada, a 41-day marriage and a terrifying violent shock. Evelyn Lozada, famed TV star and model, married Chad Johnson in 2012. The admired couple's happiness lasted 41 days before a horrific shock shattered it. Chad, an NFL star, brutally attacked Evelyn post-wedding with a head slam, severely injuring her. Overnight, her life tore apart. She entered a legal war with the husband she loved. Beyond physical trauma, the public assault brought irreparable loss. Chad was arrested, his career collapsed. Evelyn became a public violence victim, enduring mockery. She sought therapy and faced scrutinizing stares. Though she tried, moving on emotional scars and relentless rumors haunted her. 5. Keke Wyatt, a horrific marriage and a fight to escape violence. Keke Wyatt, a powerhouse singer, entered her 2000 marriage to Rahmat Morton optimistically. But it wasn't the fairy tale she dreamed. It became a nightmare. Life with Rahmat, seemingly perfect, turned hellish. Endless beatings, cruel insults, and threats kept Keke in fear. In 2006, Rahmat caused her miscarriage in a rage. Physically and emotionally pained, she lived under his threats. Forced to defend herself, she used a knife to stop his violence. That moment taught her to live, she had to fight. The marriage ended in 2009. But Keke faced not just physical scars, but deep psychological ones, from PTSD to single parenting struggles. Still, she stood firm, continued music, and moved forward. Keke proved that no matter life's cruelty, she'd fight to free herself. 4. Angie Stone, a silent battle to survive marriage. Angie Stone, a gifted, stylish R&B singer, was known for soulful hits. In 1992, she married Rodney Stone, hoping for a peaceful haven. But she got a vivid nightmare. Within a year, Rodney showed his dark side. He didn't just physically abuse her, he forced her into a fully controlled life. Each day brought pain, from beatings to the loss of music, dreams threatened by his addiction, and mounting debts. Angie fled in rain, clutching her newborn son and a diaper bag to escape his wrath. The marriage ended in 1995, but pain lingered. She struggled to raise her son and maintain her career. Penniless, she didn't quit. Angie continued music, each note carrying memories of that toxic marriage. 3. Robin Givens, a crazy marriage with Tyson and painful fallout. Robin Givens, a famed 80s actress, sparked envy, marrying boxing champ Mike Tyson. But their year-long marriage was a storm beyond imagination. Son, Robin couldn't have foreseen this end. It began sweetly, but within a year, they shattered. Endless fights culminated in a famous TV interview where Robin accused Tyson of domestic abuse. The world reeled. Tyson became a brutal figure publicly. But conflicts grew as Robin was accused of spending millions of Tyson's wealth. His life, once rising, plummeted. The 1989 divorce was the final blow, thrusting him into prison addiction and a ruined boxing career. Robin continued acting, but lived with an indelible past. Both paid dearly for a loveless marriage. 2. Emmanuel Eboue. The cost of a crazy marriage and a homeless life. Emmanuel Eboue, Arsenal's celebrated footballer, had a glorious career, but his life transformed after marrying Aurélie, whom he trusted completely. Starting with beautiful dreams, their happiness crumbled after a decade. In 2017, their divorce over daily conflicts left Aurélie with all assets, homes, and custody, leaving Emmanuel with nothing. A top athlete now relied on friends homeless with only massive debt. His glorious career became a painful memory as he took odd jobs to survive. He accused Aurélie of financial manipulation and fraud, worsening things. Public and media criticism couldn't change his empty life, one he never foresaw. 1. Aaliyah, an illegal marriage and unhealed wounds. Aaliyah, a monumental music star, awed the world with her talent and charm. But behind the glamour was a tragic love story of power and manipulation. In 1994, at 15, Aaliyah was drawn into an illegal marriage with R. Kelly, a music industry titan. In a fleeting moment, she became part of his dark power game. The unlegalized marriage caused deep psychological harm. Kelly didn't just invade her privacy. He controlled her career, trapping her in manipulation and pain. In 1995, the marriage was annulled, but Kelly's emotional scars lingered. Though Aaliyah rose in her career, past shadows clung. Her tragedy didn't end there. 6 years later, a plane crash took her life at 22, at her career's peak. Posthumously, Kelly continued, but could never erase his stain. In 2021, he was convicted, but it couldn't undo the price Aaliyah paid for that horrific marriage. Celebrity life isn't always as glamorous as the red carpet. Behind the lights are deep, unseen wounds. Fame can't shield anyone from a wrong marriage. What do you think of these stories? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to catch more celebrity world tales. This is just the iceberg's tip. More dark secrets await unveiling.